Season 13, Season of Spellbinders. Haunt your foes in Season 13 with the mythic Spellbinder Widowmaker, a master of witchcraft with stylish animations and enchanting effects. Then battle it out in Junkenstein's Laboratory, the spooky new Halloween Terror PvP game mode with mutations that turn heroes to horrors. Plus, heroes and villains watch their ideas of justice collide in the new My Hero Academia collab, featuring exclusive cosmetics inspired by the anime's iconic characters. Get ready for a season filled with magic, might, and macabre moments. Overwatch 2 X My Hero Academia. Choose heroism or villainy with the latest Overwatch 2 collaboration, featuring exclusive skins inspired by My Hero Academia's iconic characters. Battle as heroes of justice, with Tracer as Deku, Reinhardt as All Might, and Juno as Ravity, and create chaos with Reaper as Tomura Shigaraki and Kiriko as Himiko Toga. Don't miss the mega bundle for the Ultimate My Hero Academia collection, available for a limited time only from October 17th to October 30th. Halloween Terror 2024. This Halloween, the Halloween Terror event delivers a spooky good time with both brand new and returning game modes. Experience the eerie madness of Junkenstein's Laboratory, a fast-paced team deathmatch where you can enhance your heroes with powerful cursed talent cards. Then return to the chilling co-op adventure of Junkenstein's Revenge, battling hordes of zombies, zombie omnics, and monstrous bosses. Finally, uncover the terrifying secrets of Aldersborn in the Wrath of the Bride, a gripping PvE experience with puzzles, haunted castles, and jump scares. Face the frights and conquer the terror. Hero Mastery Mode for Cassie and Brig. 2 new heroes will test their skills in the Hero Mastery starting on October 31st through November 12th. You'll have a chance to perfect your skills with Cassie's Peacekeeper or bash bots off, that's supposed to be off, not of the edge, with Brig's Shield Bash. Complete new challenge or exclusive challenges to earn new exclusive rewards and bonus Battle Pass XP as you test your skills in these new courses. I'm glad they're still keeping the Hero Mastery stuff alive, even though it probably doesn't have a whole lot of people playing, but it is a cool little addition, and it does have a little community for like speedrunners, so it is cool. General updates. Interactive scoreboard. To give players easier access to social features, especially on controllers, we've added the ability to interact with the scoreboard. The interactive scoreboard is intended to make reporting faster and easier, but also to improve your social experience through whatever channels you prefer to communicate or avoid entirely. The following features are now accessible via the interactive scoreboard. Adjusting mic volume of other players. There's finally volume sliders for other players on your team. Thank Christ. It only took 13 seasons. Massive change. Adjusting your mic volume. That's interesting. Reporting other players. Joining/leaving team chat. Joining/leaving group voice chat. Muting team text chat and muting text chat. Muting text chat of other players. Wow, it's all on the scoreboard now? That's interesting. I don't know what that's going to look like. I feel like it's going to be a little cluttered though. Matchmaking updates. Tuning changes to reduce queue times for wide matches and competitive play. Lost streak avoidance turned down to prevent cases where it could increase worst case scenario queue times. Developer comments, we're not seeing any measurable impact from this tech in preventing lost streaks, and we're concerned it might be making queue times longer, so we're scaling it back for now. Role delta tuning tightened. Try to match ranks on the roles on each team more closely. We believe that match quality improves significantly when you are matched closely with one of the members on the opposing team in the same role. We believe we can tighten this preference without significantly impacting queue times. Role delta has been updated to prioritize the tank role above other roles. Developer comments, we've been thinking about how to improve the tank experience from every angle to give them even more matchups and reduce the one-sided matches for the whole team further. Interesting. So tank role is going to have an even tighter matchmaking spread than other roles, and they probably can do that because nobody wants to queue the role. At higher ranks, the effects of MMR decay, winning trend, losing trend, and calibration have been reduced. At our highest ranks, these modifiers could sometimes allow very high-skilled players playing on new accounts to get lucky and surpass their peak ranks considerably, without actually earning their new rank like other players that have played more on their accounts. At higher ranks, the matchmaker now takes into account the benefits of grouping when constructing matches. Comments: at the highest ranks, groups have had noteworthy advantages against teams composed of all solo players for some time now. Our aim with this addition isn't to remove the advantage of grouping in higher ranks entirely, but we'd like the advantage of grouping in higher ranks to be less extreme. Understandable. Good change. Public custom games. Hosting public custom games now requires a level 3 endorsement. So nobody's going to be able... So, okay, if you don't know the history, there used to be a problem with Overwatch where people could just spam accounts and then, like, name the custom games, like, advertisements, you know, like, random stuff, like cheat advertisements or crypto or Twitch or whatever it was, right? Or there was some, you know, harassment simulators. So, like, yeah, there was a lot of weird ones out there. Reminder that we've been actioning accounts that post disruptive content to the game browser, and we're serious about removing problematic players that don't follow our code of conduct. Whenever an account is actioned for a social penalty, their endorsement is reduced to level 0. So the combination of social actions and this feature will allow one chance to change their behavior before they're permanently banned. Anyone that is below level 3 can still host games with friends or invite-only setting, but they will not have access to the everyone setting. Streamer mode. Access to the hide my name function of streamer mode now requires completing the Unrelenting Hero Lifetime Challenge. Whoa. We've been listening to the community feedback that newer accounts should be required to earn access to this feature, but it's important that this feature can't be abused by various types of disruptive players that tend to play on very new accounts. As a reminder, the hide my name feature does not prevent disruptive players from being punished when they are reported, since we know their actual battle tag behind the scenes. Isn't that complete like 750 games or 750 wins for Unrelenting Hero? That means like alt accounts will not have streamer mode. For the most part. Challenges update. Select challenges now visible in the main menu. Okay, whatever. Shop updates. Mythic Skins Aspect add-on cosmetic is now added to the Mythic Shop. Overwatch League Store tab was removed and replaced by a separate button in the bottom of the main shops tab. Competitive updates. Top 500. The requirement to appear on the top 500 leaderboard has changed. Win requirement per season reduced from 50 to 25. Wow, they made a change just for me? Wow, you guys shouldn't have. You're so kind. You're so sweet. Wait, oh, it's not 750 wins, it's 1,750 wins, by the way, for Unrelenting Hero? God damn. Wow, I can't believe it. Blizzard pandering to their fucking streamers again. Wow, these bastards, can't believe it. The Season Competitor Challenge, 750 lifetime wins in competitive play, is now required to be completed. Oh, so this is, so Season Competitor, wait, what's the other one? Unrelenting Hero. Okay, so Season Competitor is 750. Is now required to compete or to be completed to be eligible for any top 500 leaderboard starting in Season 12. So it looks like they're trying to also cut down on alt accounts that are getting into the top 500 leaderboard while also not making it be 50 wins. So, okay. Nice changes. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Exactly, Flatso. General, swapping your hero hides your selection on the enemy scoreboard for 15 seconds. Okay. Wait, what? Swapping your hero hides your selection on the enemy scoreboard for 15 seconds? Wait, what? So you can't have the tanks counter-swapping in spawn? This change adds more friction to counter-swapping, especially in the extreme cases where two players in opposite team are both sitting in spawn with a scoreboard open and rapidly switch their heroes in response to the other's choice. So wait, instead of fixing the counter-swap issue, they just said, F it, you won't know what they're swapping to, so you can't sit there and counter-swap back. Holy fucking shit. That is the most insane change I have seen in a long time. That is actually insane. That is the biggest band-aid. No, it's not bye-bye Counterwatch. It's now going to be a mind game where it's going to be, okay, they walked back into spawn. Guess what? Now it's a mystery hero. And then if you walk back to spawn, you're now a mystery hero. And you're both playing the fucking game of chicken where you're like, oh, what are you swapping to? Oh, I'm swapping to this. Holy shit, that's crazy. Tank, Mauga, Incendiary Chain Gun. Ignite damage over time, duration increase from 3 to 4 seconds. Are you guys like, are you guys trying to fuck with me on purpose at this point? I don't understand. I literally said every time when you start micro buffing a hero, every fucking time, they will become meta very quickly after. Orisa is literally being played all over the place, and Mauga is secretly also starting to like become better little by little, but like was not there. Like there's other tanks that were just better. Last patch, you said Mauga is the next micro. You know, sometimes people come in and go, and sometimes they're ironic and sometimes they're not ironic, and they go, Flats, what's it like to be a prophet in Overwatch and predict things that are gonna happen? It sucks. It's like being able to tell, you know, like, guys, there's a car coming, get out of the way. And everyone goes, shut up, there's no car coming. And then the car comes through and hits them all. It's like, dude, fuck, man. You just have to live with the pain as it's coming in. Here it comes. You see the fucking train rolling down the tracks and nobody believes you. And you just sit there and you go, guys, get the fuck off the tracks. The train's coming. And they go, no, there's no train coming, streamer. You're stupid. Increasing the duration of Mauga's burn effect will help reward him from going for the smaller, harder to hit targets. Wait, what is Ramatra Pummel? No longer pierces barrier? Now deals 2.5x more damage to barrier. What, was fucking tank players having too much fun? The fuck is this? What's the point of Ramatra now? Ramatra just sucks now. There's actually no point. Other than block meta, where you just sit there and block. But you know what they can do when they go block meta? You go Mauga. That's actually unironically the swap. Ramatra's pummel projectiles pass through barriers was a source of frustration for players trying to protect themselves or their allies. With these changes enabling Ramatra to deal critical damage to barriers, he will still be a valuable hero choice against barrier mechanics, but won't immediately apply damage to players on the other side. If you were to make this change, you had to make this change like when Ramatra came out. I remember when this came out, I was like, this is one of the craziest things Overwatch has ever done. And it was like, if it's fucking broken, you can't keep it in the game. But it's been a year. No, it's been 2 years almost. You can't take it away after 2 years. So, out of the heroes that originally came out in Overwatch, Kiri has kind of lost her identity with headshots, and Ramatra loses his hero identity with punching through barriers. So Ryan's just Ramatra's just a shittier Ryan now. It's actually just a shittier Ryan. The only reason you would want to run Ramatra now is for better, like slightly better poke, and for the ability to sit there and right click. Dude, like unironically, I actually wanted to give credit the last few patches. Like, yeah, there was parts that were not good, like the Orisa micro buffs that caused the all of a sudden Orisa meta, but like just one Orisa nerf, and then all of a sudden we're back to something good. Like we're back to a decent meta again. And it's just like, you just ruined it. Like it's just going further in the opposite direction. Like, why does this happen? Like, why does it take this? Like, why do we have to go on this crusade for this shit? Like, why couldn't we just kept things kind of like, what's the fucking point? There's no way Ramatra was dominating. Like, we made jokes. Like, we had devs in my chat. We were all making jokes, like, where Ramatra was busted. Like, his armor was literally broken. And we were making jokes that, like, oh yeah, the broken armor can't even make Ramatra meta. So, like, what's the point of this? You know? It clearly isn't that strong. The fuck, man? What are you guys on to this? What are you... Dude, it was the whole point of the Halloween patch to be spooky? Like, just... Woo! Ooh, you want to play Overwatch? There you go. Come on, man. Barrier field health reduced from 1600 to 1500. This is just some fine tuning on the barrier health and regeneration rate as it becomes slightly too tough to break through. Okay, I guess. Yeah. Hey, where's the Orisa nerf, by the way? Orisa's been fucking dominating for the last 2.5 weeks. We got Amalgam Micro buff, we got a Ramatra nerf, we got a Rhine nerf. Quite indubitably, I know what I'm going to do with this patch. Get out of here, man. Hanzo base health increase from 225 to 250. That makes sense. That makes sense. He doesn't have to be 225 anymore after the changes. We're reverting Hanzo back to his previous health. Now it's possible to take on an opposing Hanzo with a well-aimed headshot thanks to the weapon. That's fine. Fine change. Railgun, Sojourn. Energy no longer stops degrading at 25 energy. Wow. Time before energy degradation begins increased from 7 to 12 seconds. That is insane. That's actually crazy. No shit, that's a big change. Disruptor shot, damage per second increase from 60 to 80. Now generates 25% of damage done to enemy players in railgun energy. Huh? Wait, so you just get free railgun charge? Off of the slow? Or the old slow, the circle? Railgun charge is swapped out the 25 minimum energy. It decays for a longer time before it begins to degenerate, which alleviates some of the pressure to quickly use the secondary fire. Disruptor shots is getting a damage increase to help its effectiveness as an area to denial tool, and along with additional utility through generating a small amount of railgun energy, makes it more broadly useful. What is with these like weird ass changes recently? What is with this? Why are we doing these? Like what? What's the point? Like how, like if you genuinely don't play Overwatch all the time, how confusing is it to just come back and like all of a sudden your fucking E charges railgun damage? How does that even make sense? Huh? Sojourn buffs but no cast buffs? What the fuck? Cast is fine. Cast doesn't need buffs, bro. Relax, pump the brakes. Let me do the talking, okay? It's okay. Cast is fine, I promise you. He's not bad. What the fuck is this? Sombra no longer ends stealth, but does reveal Sombra for hack. What? Hacked ability lockout effect duration reduced from 1.5 to 1 second. EMP duration unchanged. Bob hack stun duration reduced from 10 to 3 seconds. Oh my god, GG Sombra. No longer passive and now activates by using translocator. Oh my god, GG's. Sombra cooked. Now has a 5-second duration. Added stealth timer around the reticle that removed ability icon. Taking damage now reveals Sombra for 1 second instead of ending stealth. Translocator cooldown increased from 5 to 7 seconds. EMP costs increased to by 12%. The Opportunist passive has been added back in. Increases Sombra weapon damage versus hacked targets by 20%. And see critically injured enemies through walls. Wait, actually, GG's. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute, hang on. Actually, maybe not. Wait. Increased weapon damage versus hacked targets increased by 20%. But aren't they only hacked for 1 second? No, it's the lockout ability. Okay, so they're still hacked for like 7 or 8 seconds, just the lockout's only 1 second. Okay. Let's read the comments real quick. This is a significant change to Sombra's playstyle in the hopes of making her more interactive for the opposing team and shifting some of her power from the utility of stealth and hack into increased lethality. Stealth having an increased duration, less than the translocator cooldown, is intended to create brief windows of vulnerability. It still enables Sombra to cross through dangerous areas unseen, but to not really hang around in the enemy backline, which will require more cover to cover, similar to other flanking heroes. Well, yeah, but you're gonna see her throwing the translocator, then they have no escape tool. Wait, she's gotta get cooked. No longer having the stealth movement speed removed upon taking damage also enhances its usefulness as an escape tool. Wait, no, I don't think it really does though. I actually, I don't want to speak too soon, but my gut tells me cooked, like legitimately cooked. Like cooked. Like there's no reason. Which, granted, I don't like playing against Sombra anyways. Sombra's fucking annoying. But like, this is just like a shittier tracer, no? Again, we're gonna have to wait to see how it plays, but like the Bob change alone is fucking wild. Like Bob, being able to turn Bob off completely is crazy. So that goes from like Sombra being really useful versus Ashe, because you can just stop Bob, to like, don't even fucking hack him, leave him alone. That's in mega Bob buff. Yeah, Sombra probably cooked, but too early to tell, obviously. I need playtime. I don't wanna jump to conclusions on that one, but my gut tells me cooked. Next up, Baptiste Biotic Launcher. Primary fire recoil reduced by 30%. This change is aimed at reducing the fatigue resulting from controlling the recoil over long periods of play, more than trying to add power to Baptiste's primary fire. Okay, I guess. Brig Repair Pack cooldown increased from 5.5 seconds. Oh, so Brig was just the second best support in the game for the entire season. You know who needs a buff? Oh, sorry, I take that back. It's a nerf. It's 5 to 5.5. I thought it was the other way around. I take it back. I apologize. Brig's healing up. I honestly had a little bit of, I had a bit of a shock from the Mauga changes earlier. No Orisa changes. Bear with me. I'm still coming off of the long sponsored stream. I honestly kind of just thought they just didn't nerf Brig, even though Brig I don't even think needed nerfs. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I actually don't think Brig needed nerfs. I didn't think Brig needed nerfs. It's just Juno, and it's just the meta. That's it. If Juno was nerfed, Brig wouldn't be played. Just saying. That's it. Just saying. I actually don't think Brig needed a nerf. How far we've come? We haven't come anywhere, okay? You just happen to be on the fucking right side for once. Juno Meta Blaster. Fall off range reduced from 30 to 50 meters to 25 to 35 meters. And healing per projectile reduced from 6.5 to 6. Fine. I think those are fine. Those are fine. As long as you keep the fire rate the same, fall off is fine. These are fine Juno nerfs. Juno's been kind of dominating anyways. Juno's healing output is too high for how much mobility she possesses, so we're shortening her fall off range to increase the importance of positioning well with her mobility abilities. Actually, if I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, I actually probably wouldn't have reduced the healing. I would have changed her ultimate. Her ultimate's so fucking good. It may be a slight nerf on the ultimate. Ultimate's a little too much. Little too much. You know what I mean? It was great for teaching people how powerful it is for the first like couple months. Now that we're a season later, I think it needs a small touch. Small touch. Clash updates. Capture time of the final objective of point A and E now increases for attackers as segments get secured consecutively from 1x, 1x, 1x to 0.7x to 1.1x to 1.4x to make the segments easier to capture for attackers, but consecutive ones harder. Defenders now respawn instantly as the first segment and the second segment gets secured, instead of when the previous objective points B and D get captured. What? Oh. Wait, what? So this one, okay, so basically the first one, if you need a translation on the first one is trying to make it so that first tick is really hard to secure, but the second tick and the third tick are gonna be much easier. So you can like full cap and just win the game easily. But the first tick will be hard. This one, now respawn instantly as the first segment and second segment gets secured. So the way I read this is first tick, if you lose the first tick, instant respawn. If you lose the second tick, instant respawn. No, it's the opposite? Why is it the other way around? Other way around, first segment is easier to cap? Yeah. 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 What did I say? You said slower. Yeah, taking the first tick is going to be slower. No? The second tick will go faster and the third tick will go faster. It'll be harder, it'll be easier to capture. The first tick is going to be 0.3% faster. Dude, half of you guys are actually agreeing and saying the opposite from each other. You guys are all saying no and then saying the opposite. I fucking shit you not. There are half of you that are saying easier and half of you saying longer. You guys are fucking losing it. You're just saying no and then saying the opposite. According to you guys, I said both and both were wrong. Read the comments. One smart one. We want to reduce the number of one-sided stomps occurring in the Clash game mode. We also want to address the difficulty of securing at least one segment on the final objective point as attackers. So we tweaked the capture time for the defending team to make the fight for objective points B and D more favorable for attackers. That's not the ticks though. What? It's to make the first segment easier? What I said, okay, and the way I understand this is this tick will take much longer to capture. This tick will be slightly faster. So, slow, fast, faster. No? Then how does that make sense? Wouldn't you want it the opposite way? You would want it the opposite way then. Okay, so you're saying the final point, the first tick, will be faster to capture for attackers. So you can get that tick easier. Why would you want that? Wouldn't you want the opposite? Because if it's harder to take the first tick, and you fight uphill for it, and you actually take it, that means you're probably getting steamrolled on defense, and you can just get the game over with. It says capture time only takes 0.7 from previous 1x. It says in the second part of the note. That was the least helpful comment I've read all day. Thank you, first time chatter. The point is, if you're steamrolling, you'll get one easy, but there's now a better fight for the next ticks. But I think the opposite is better. I understand what you're saying, but that's so backwards. Because if they're trying to make it so that one-sided stomps don't happen as often or don't feel as bad, wouldn't you want it to be really hard to fight the first tick? Right? And if they actually take it and they beat you, then they just capture the other two and it's game over. It's like, whatever, game over. But they're trying to make it so you attack third point and at least go for the tick. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Hey, man, I was willing to give Clash a try. But if it's this bad, maybe we just say, F it, man, we lost. GG's. Right? Because I got asked one time about my take on all the game modes of Overwatch. And I don't mind new game modes. I don't. But like, classic Overwatch to me was Control, Hybrid, and Escort. And the more game modes you add and the more rules and all these complex shit, like, no more game modes. No more. Like, whatever we're at right now, period. Put a fucking tack on it, and that's it for like the next 5 years. Because I'd rather see more maps of actual modes that we play than making more modes for fun. Because now, if you only get a map every other season, that means Control, Escort, Hybrid, Flashpoint, Push, and Clash. There's six modes, and one map every other season. And how many seasons are there a year? What? So a season is about 2 months. So every 4 months you get a new map. So about 3 maps a year. So 3 maps a year, and there's 6 game modes. So it could be potentially 2 years or more before one game mode gets a map. That's only saying if it equally always does that, where it's like they always give one to the next game mode, and Overwatch doesn't do that. Sometimes it does control, escort, control, or push, control, push. You know what I mean? So like, it could be multiple years before game modes get a map these days. I think that's bad. And I think if the game mode is this fucking complicated and it's this much of a struggle for them to get people to actually play the game correctly, it's cooked. It's cooked. Because I hear what you guys are saying now. I understand. The first tick will be easier to capture, so people actually push it. And the second tick and third tick are much harder, so it's easier to come back and defend. That being said, though, I would think it would be the opposite. Because if you make it a really hard uphill battle to take that point, it keeps them in the game for longer. But if they get rolled on like the easiest point to hold with your spawn being right there, then it's like most players just want to get the game over with and want to move on, right? But I understand that that's not what they want. They don't want to give players like the ability to just like give up and move on, right? I get that too. So maybe the game mode's just cooked. And I've heard some people in the community say that like, this game mode is really fucking bad. And I hated it the first week because they were pushing it really hard. And I played like 18 games of Clash my first day of the new season. But I realized it was probably because I was oversaturated, give myself a little time, get away from it for a bit. And I was like, okay, I'm willing to give it a chance, right? But if this is what's happening, I think it's cooked. Let me read the rest of it really quick. Defenders now respawn instantly after the first segment, and the second segment gets secured. Okay, I did that one already. Unlock time for final objective points A and E have been increased from 25 seconds to 27.5 seconds. Decay rate on the final objectives A and E have been doubled for the attackers to not lose their progress as quickly when stepping off the point. We're going to do it again, chat. Isn't the decay rate like how fast it decays? And if you doubled it, wouldn't that make it decay faster? Not lose their progress as quickly? Wouldn't you lose it faster because they increase the decay rate? Just saying. It sounds like we can't even all get on the same page because I had a hard time reading it and it might have a hard time being written. Just saying. If that's where we're at this point, where it's getting so fucking convoluted that I can't understand it, and they can't understand it, we might be cooked. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably one of my least favorite patches in a long time. And they really, really put the scare of Halloween into us this season. I guess the Halloween terror was the patch notes. Man. The capture time for defenders on objective points B and D has been increased by 10% to give attackers more opportunities to attack the point. Whatever. Circle Royale, okay, we've already seen most of these changes from looking through the thing. I'll do a slow scroll really quick if you want to pause and look through it on your own, but I have a video where I went through all of them. There's some apparently that I missed, some like small things I just didn't point out. But yeah, I mean, there's no photos here, so it's just all talking or all words. Fix the bugs that cause player unable to purchase golden weapons. So if you got points from the drive and you were able to get golden weapons, you are able to now. It's fixed. Fix the bug where voice chat devices setting was able to be changed. Wow, that's been a bug for fucking forever. I call it Adrenaline Junkie achievement, sometimes not to grant. Fix the bug with Baptiste's zombie walk emote. The bug with Sigma would not gain overhealth for Juno's Meta Blaster. And previous update fixed the bugs that caused exit sound on Reaper's Shadow Step to not play. Oh, interesting. Yeah, listen, man. Listen. Ramatra kind of got hard snubbed last season for the Reaper Mythic. Granted, I think the Reaper Mythic is probably my favorite Mythic. It is crazy. I love that thing. That thing's awesome. That being said, Ram kind of getting sent to the farm, potentially. Mauga getting a micro buff. Ryan getting a small micro nerf. Sombra could potentially be cooked, which is fine, but like, man, that was like a That's weird. I don't know. I don't know yet. Hanzo changed. These are probably some of my least favorite patch notes I've seen in a long time. Genuinely. The only one that made any sense was the Brig nerf, which I don't even think Brig needed a nerf. But if you got to change some numbers, it. And the Juno ones, because Juno's been really, really popular and the strongest support in the game, makes sense. The Sojourn ones are just, it's fucking strange. The Disruptor shot change. The Hanzo change is the only one that makes real sense. Like, out of the whole patch notes, there's one change that makes sense. Maybe two, if you count Juno's. And I don't even think Juno, I think Juno's ult is the thing that's probably the most strong. Wow, this is kind of ass. And then what the worst part is, I talked about this on stream last week, is last mid-season and before the mid-season, like right when mid-season hit, like when people hadn't figured out the patch yet and before mid-season, I'd actually been playing a lot of Overwatch again, and I was actually having a really fun time. But in the last 2 weeks, Orisa becoming strong and becoming meta, all the fun's evaporated, and seeing potentially we're playing Orisa for another few weeks, especially at the beginning of the season when I typically grind because it drops, then potentially going into Amalgam meta, man, I'm throwing my hands up in the air. I'm done. I ain't doing that. That's ass. So, yeah, I hate to say it. These are probably some of the worst patch notes I've seen in a long time.